My name's Norman Thomas Thursday.
And where were you born, Norman?
Limehouse.
So you were brought up in Limehouse during the war?
We were bombed out first and then moved to Dalston. And when the Blitz was going on, the old chaps, instead of going in the Aero shelters, they used to come out on their front steps and watch it all. What was going on.
Right.
I remember, although I was only about 3 or 4, I remembered that happening. I mean, when the actual real 1 week when the Blitz was serious, my mum took me into a underground communal shelter, underground. Everyone mixing in on bunk beds. Quite exciting actually, because when you're that age.
Yeah.
But no, it was nobody seemed to be scared. You know, they accepted what was happening, but nobody seemed to be frightened. Because then towards the end, you started seeing the boys coming on. And my sister, I had 3 sisters, and they used to, all pub goers, all the family, and when the young soldiers were waiting to go abroad in the pubs, they'd take them home, had a delivery, because one of them worked in a brewery, and they had a delivery, and all young soldiers in the pubs, they used to take them home for a booze up. My mum used to play the piano, and the ceilings used to go like that, you know. Really, it was horrendous, but nobody seemed to be frightened of it.
Bit of an adventure for you lads.
But I mean, older people never seemed to be frightened.
How old were you when the war ended?
In 1945, so I was 8. Yeah.
So your memory's starting to go back to then. Was your mother or father involved in war production?
My dad was in the First World War, and he died, he got blinded, and he come home, got his sight back, but over for the next few years, the gas stayed in his body, and he died when I was 3.
When you were 3?
Yeah.
So he was a war victim?
Yeah, and I was the youngest of 6. And I had 3 brother-in-laws. They was all in that Second World War.
You must have had a hard life without...
No.
How did you earn, how did your mum get money?
We didn't have no home comforts.
Yeah.
We were street rakers.
You were what?
Street rakers.
What's that?
We had all the bombed houses round us, and you could go in the bombed houses, collect whatever was valuable, lead, anything like that, but melt it down, make little soldiers, play in the bombed house. I fell out of a bombed house. You know when the cables go up?
Yeah.
It was an adventure. Climbing
Right.
up the gable with nothing else there.
So the Rozzers didn't catch you?
The police were totally different to they are now. Totally different. You know, they cared about children. And
Norman, you had your big sisters as well, didn't you?
sorry?
You had your big sisters. All
Yeah,
looking after you,
there were
didn't you?
6.
When you were starting to get older,
Yeah.
of course, the Blitz had stopped by then, I would imagine,
Yeah.
because we were invading France, weren't we?
Well, my first job was in Upper Thames Street when I was 15. And I used to go down the docks as a part of my job. And the docks were devastated. They were bombed to bits.
What about your homes? Did they survive?
The first one in Stepney, we got bombed out. And they'd moved a couple of times.
So when it got bombed in Stepney, where were you? In the underground stations?
Probably in some sort of shelter. I don't remember, because at that age I was probably 3, and at that age I really didn't understand what was going on. But I had 2 brothers and 3 sisters, and I was the youngest. But my 2 brothers and myself, we all done national service.
Where did you see it? Abroad or in England?
No, I was on the Isle of Wight.
On the Isle of Wight, you had a tough posting there.
Yeah.
Where was it? Ventnor?
Newport, right by the prison. When somebody escapes, they used to call the troops out. Because they went around the world. We didn't want to find them, actually, you know. But no, it's my three brother-in-laws. Two of them come back wounded. One was on the D-Day invasion.
What was his name?
Herbert Schultz, come from East Ham. He was in Montecasino, Battle of Montecasino. He come back wounded. Henry, his older brother, because my two sisters married two brothers, and Henry, the older one, he was in Africa with Montgomery. He come back slightly wounded. They patched him up because he was one of the more experienced soldiers when they done the D-Day invasions, and he got blown up then. His wife, Henry, his first wife, while he was in Africa with Montgomery, his first wife got killed in an air raid. When he came home, he met my sister, and they got married, and then he went on the D-Day invasions.
And did he die in D-Day?
No, they come home, they was going to take one leg off. He was on a gun with six of them all together. 4 of them got killed. One disappeared. His mind went, and he got blown up and was going to. They brought him back to Roehampton, and he was actually going to have his leg taken off. But the maggots got in his leg at the gangrene. Yeah. So all he had a slight an operation to take just a section off, you know. So, you know.
What an incredible variety of family and life that you went through.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other brother-in-law, he went who married my youngest sister, he went in the tail end. But as I say, then me and my two brothers, we all done 2 years, one in the RAF.
On the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, one in. My brother was in the RAF.
Yeah.
Guess what he was?
A fighter pilot?
No. Because I tell you what, when you go in the Army, Air Force, you never know what you're going to do.
You can't ask.
You could go in as an artist and you'll finish up as a gunner.
Right.
He finished up as a cook in the officers' mess.
Well, he had a job for when he came out, didn't he?
Well, he's a brilliant. This is sad because I'm going to his funeral on Wednesday. He's 90.
Oh well, 90's not bad, I suppose.
And it was a blessing, actually. In the end, you know.
May you rest in peace.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
He definitely will do Norman, won't he?
Sorry?
He will rest in peace as well.
Oh, yeah,
Stanley.
absolutely,
Lovely man.
yeah.
So let's talk about this flight then. What did you do just now?
Well, I had trouble getting in the helicopter. They had to near enough lift me into the helicopter because my hips had gone really, and it was fantastic actually because you from taking your memory back to seeing the dogfights and seeing all the devastation that was done.
You'll love this.
And then suddenly, you've got this Spitfire,
Yeah.
which you could almost feel as you can put your arm
You
out.
could almost touch the
it.
Spit.
Yeah.
Did you ever think when you was a young lad you'd ever be able to fly with a Spitfire? So when are you going up in the Spit at the back?
Probably my son will, but I doubt if I will.
Why not?
You count your days now.
So it was a memorable trip.
It was an experience. You know.
I hope you've got a picture with the Spitfire.
Yeah, we'll make it.
It wasn't frightening or nothing like that. It was just
And everyone took pictures. Did you take a picture?
No, my son took. He done that. Yeah.
So your son flew with you?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah. What's his name?
Ronnie.
Ronnie.
And he now runs our business.
Oh right.
Yeah.
What are you, a scrap dealer?
Yeah. Well, we used to sell scrap when you're stripping old houses out. So there's scrap dealers buying the stuff off of you.
Wonderful.
You know.
What's the one memory you woo!
Yeah.
So have you ever been in a helicopter before?
No.
That's the first.
Yeah. In training, you do different things. Jumping out of lorries, learning to knock people's doors down, you know, and going through smoke rooms. They sling you in one side,
Yeah.
and you've got to make your way.
Oh, like a firefighter training.
Yeah. You've got to learn to get on the ground with your nose on the ground to get to the door the other end. And if you come out, they sling you back in again.
What's the secret of long life?
I think always being busy and a drop of scotch every night.
I can never get to sleep if I have any of that stuff.
Well, I certainly do. So I'm usually in bed by about 12 and I'm up by about before 6.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And it's solid.
Yeah.
And the other best thing when you're on your own is to have a dog. Always, because when you've got a dog, you're never alone. That dog depends on you, and you find that it actually becomes a soulmate.
Yeah. But not a greyhound, eh?
No, smaller the better. The smaller the dog, the more fierce they are.
I find that with my wife.
And you feel safe because anybody comes anywhere near the front door, growls, and barks, runs to the door.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your daughter-in-law, is it? Or
Yes, my
wants us to go. Thank you very much for the interview. Bless your heart.
Only 80 years later, that's it. How old are you? 83, so you were around, weren't you? Yeah, you're a little topper. Do you really? Yeah, wow. And then you can you remember doodle bugs and stuff like that? And
Coming home from school.
yeah.
Stops.
Yeah. That sort of positive.
That's when you got to run.
Yeah.
When it stops, because that's when it's
Yeah, exactly. What memories, eh? Living history. He remembers doodle bugs. Thank you. Well, that's what it is. That's why the Spit's here, isn't it? You know, it symbolises so much, especially with the city behind you. The Thames just gets beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Well, they're going to refuel it. I've got one more 40, and then after that, I'll show you around, chat to you about the history of the Spit.